Hi YouTube, it's Carrie, Lady BSG. Today's video is going to be basically like my 1 year post-op surgiversary video because today's actually April 7th, 2016. I had my VSG surgery April 6th, 2015, but yesterday in celebration of my surgiversary I was getting a new tattoo, which I will show you guys probably near the end. So let's see. If you watch my videos regularly, you know that I'm 5'7". My highest weight was somewhere over 315 pounds. When I booked the surgery, I weighed 301.8 pounds. Day of surgery, I weighed 272. And on Monday, I had my surgery on a Monday, so I weigh in officially on Mondays. And on Monday, my weight was down to 168.1 pounds, which, I didn't keep the app open. Hang on just 1 second. So that is a total loss of 133.7 pounds. So according to the app that I use to keep track of that, it says that I have 17.8 pounds left to lose because for the app, I put in that I wanted my goal weight to be 150 pounds because since when I booked the surgery and I used the 301.8 as my starting weight, if I get down to 150 pounds, I will have lost more than I currently weigh, which, like, it's still a goal that I want to achieve. I'm a little bit afraid that 150 pounds is not going to be maintainable for me. Based on how I'm feeling right now, I think I could definitely get down to like 155 and I think I'd be okay. I worry that if I get down to 150, the amount of effort I'm going to have to put into maintaining that is, that it would be a struggle. And I am a lazy person, and I still am not back in what I would call the habit of going to the gym, which obviously is something that I need to work on. And I was discussing it with my sister recently, and right now it kind of seems like with not going to the gym and like not doing really good with my food. Like I'm not overeating, and I'm not I'm not eating fast food once or twice a day at least the way I was previously. But it seems like so basically just like being a slacker and just not doing anything the right way. My body seems pretty happy right here around the 168, 170 mark. I'm still losing weight. It's pretty slow, and I have to be really mindful of, if I'm eating carbs constantly, I don't lose weight. Or at least, not without exercising. So my sister pointed out, like, I've achieved that level that the general population has, where, I've got like 15 to 20 pounds to lose, and I would actually have to put effort into doing that, as opposed to, the last year where my sleeve basically just did all the work for me, and it was fantastic, So I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. So also speaking in terms of goals, I'm not gonna lie, there was a part of me that really, really wanted to have gotten down to my goal weight by my 1 year anniversary, which is not, I don't know if it's something that I ever mentioned in a video, and it's also not something maybe I could have done it if I had done other things differently. If I had really focused on like getting in the habit of going to the gym and eating really well, not going to New York and eating cronuts and rainbow bagels, and then coming back home and being like, dude, how did I forget about bagels? I had not had a bagel in over a year. And then I was like, oh my God, I need bagels so bad. So, I bought a pack of bagels at the store, and I was having bagels and cream cheese with, and I sliced up onions and tomatoes and got some smoked salmon. And I was making myself little bagel sandwiches, and I could only eat half of a bagel sandwich at a time. But so basically for a week, for 2 meals a day, I had half a bagel with smoked salmon and cream cheese and onions and tomato. And it was great. And, I don't regret the decision, but I mean, I think I obviously could have been making better choices. But that's, if you watch any of my videos, you know that's my theme song. Oh, I could have made better choices. Yeah. It is what it is, I suppose. So yeah, I think it would have been feasible. I obviously did not achieve that. And there's a little part of me that's disappointed, but at the same time, there's a bigger part of me that's like, okay, so you didn't lose that last 20 pounds, but you did lose 133. Like, that's good. I am happier now with myself than I was a year ago. I'm sure not all of that is, recently I did go back on antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication, and I'm sure that helped. But I just overall, I feel much more confident and comfortable, and, I'm wearing leggings right now, and I would not have worn leggings when I was 300 pounds, just because there's a lot of those messages that, you internalize, and there's a lot of that stuff that I'm still kind of dealing with. I'm kind of seeing this guy, we've been on one date, and it went really well, and I'm really hoping that we continue to go on dates, but it's still, when we tried to set up a second date and he had to reschedule because of his work, there's a little part of me from, decade of not getting romantic attention that is like, oh, it's probably because he doesn't think that I'm attractive. And it's like, no, he has made that clear that he thinks that I'm cute, which, I like. I like that. It's nice to, I don't want to say that I had the surgery just so people would think that I was pretty, but I'm not going to lie, I'm enjoying people telling me that I'm cute. Hang on, I made a list on my phone of the things that I wanted to talk about, and then I closed the app. So yeah. So in terms of kind of my eating habits, again, if you watch my videos, I talk about this a lot. I'm trying to transition away from relying on protein shakes and, protein bars, things like that, and just really trying to get back in the habit of just, cooking and preparing my own food and just being more mindful of my portion sizes. And it, this week has worked out really well because I made pulled pork, basically, in the crock pot, and, I've got my teeny tiny Tupperwares, and I've been eating that, 1 to 2 meals a day, and it tastes great. I love it. And I like doing cooking like that because I don't mind eating leftovers, which is great because if I had minded eating leftovers, weight loss surgery would have been much more difficult afterwards because there's always going to be leftovers. I'm never going to eat a complete meal all at once ever again. But I like having my 18 little Tupperwares in the fridge, and then for lunch and dinner, I can just pull one out, put it in the microwave. I put a little lime juice and some hot sauce on there, and it's great. I love it. It's easy. And for me, that's been the biggest issue. I used to depend on fast food because it was I just didn't feel like cooking. And the upside of, I guess not weight loss surgery, but just sort of getting back into this mindset of wanting to prepare my own meals. I do have to plan things in advance, which helps because then I know I stay on track with my eating more because because I have 18, however many Tupperwares left of pulled pork in the fridge, and it's like, well, I spent all that money on the pork. Like, why don't I just eat that? Plus, I know it's good. I know exactly what ingredients went into it. So that kind of stuff. So, like, meal planning definitely helps me, and I recommend it, but, everybody's got to find their own way. I'm also obviously not a person that minds eating the same thing over and over and over again. And I'll find different ways, like, for me, it's about not necessarily just reheating the pork and like eating it straight out of the bowl, although I've definitely done that. I'll add, like, lately I've been doing lime juice and hot sauce. Yesterday I've got cream cheese left from my bagel binge, so I put a little bit of cream cheese in there with some hot sauce, and that was great. It was kind of like beef stroganoff almost, like it had this sort of, because of the cream cheese, like sort of a creamy sauce. And so, just like little quick and easy ways to sort of jazz up, the pork, and that it makes me happy. Then I don't feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over again. But even if I just stuck to one thing, like the lime juice and the hot sauce or whatever, I don't have those kind of food issues where I can't, I can obviously eat it constantly for a week and it's fine. It doesn't gross me out or anything. So yeah, let's see. I have, in terms of the restriction that I feel, I mean, I can definitely eat more now than I could a year ago, once I had transitioned back to regular food, because, I had that slow transition of, clear liquids, full liquids, puree, blah, blah, blah. So I've been debating about trying out the 5-day pouch test, but for me, I think what I've noticed is that I still have restriction. I mean, I still can't eat the way other people can. I feel like what I'm doing now is eating past my restriction. I did actually overeat once this week and had to barf, which, I was so proud and braggy back in my first post-op days where it's like I never got the slimies and blah, 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 because I was just so great about listening to my body. And it's like, okay, now it's a year out and I'm starting to do that. So, like, that's something I obviously need to nip in the bud. But, it's really just, I need to get back in the habit of really paying attention to my stomach and my sleeve. And when it tells me, no, you're done, I need to stop eating. Because, that's basically where we're at right now. And I don't want to be one of those people that has to go back in for a revision because I've stretched it out again. Because that would be disappointing. I mean, obviously I love my sleeve and it has done exactly what I wanted it to do, and I want to take good care of it so it continues to take good care of me. I might try out, I know I talked about it before I went to New York, I might try out that 5-day pouch test thing, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. I haven't, so I started drinking again in New York and got hungover after 3 beers and a martini. So I'm not real excited about, like, it's fun to drink again, but I don't want to be hungover. Being hungover sucked so bad. So it's weird. Like, I'm gonna have to finally learn how to drink like an adult and not drink to be like, hey, let's get our buzz on, like, because I don't want to be hungover. It was awful. I hate throwing up. So yeah, so I guess the last thing on the list before I show you my anniversary tattoo is plastics. So I mean, I've got loose skin and I'll show it to you. I'm not going to show you my boobs, but my boobs are basically the part that I am really unhappy with. They deflated. There's no other way to put it. Like, if you see that I have breasts here, but what you see is basically because I have a Victoria's Secret, like, padded push-up bra on. Like, this is all an illusion. If I'm not wearing a bra, like they're flat and they hang down, like they're like, 90-year-old grandma boobs. Like it's just skin, and like it's weird because it's so surreal. Like if I lean over in front of a mirror and I'm not wearing a bra, like they're all wrinkly. It looks like sculpey almost, like, and so there's definitely been days where I've been in the mirror being like, that's weird, like poking them around, and I do not find them visually appealing. And and I don't have a romantic partner right now, so I'm not getting any kind of negative feedback in that regard, which is really nice. Sadly, that also means I'm not getting any sort of positive feedback or anything to combat my jerk brain telling me how awful my boobs look when I'm having like a low self-esteem moment. So I have sent out some inquiries about, obviously I would need implants, but also, because I have all this loose skin because when I was 300 pounds, I was like a 40G. So obviously they can't just go in and put in an implant that will use up the skin that's there. I'm going to end up with humongous watermelon boobs because you don't need G cups, or I don't need G cups on my new frame. So I've sent out some inquiries that way. One of the plastic surgery, like a lot of the plastic surgeons that I sent inquiries to are not local. I had really good luck with medical tourism, and frankly, I don't have tons of money, and I don't know that I could afford the $18,000 price tag for a breast lift with augmentation that some of the local surgeons here quoted at. So, if I go back down to Mexico with the Aerial Center, who is sort of partnered with Obesity Control Center, their price is much more reasonable for what I can afford. And, I had an excellent experience at OCC, and I assumed that I would have an equally excellent experience with the Aerial Center. So that's kind of where, like, that's probably where I'm going to end up having it done. It's probably going to be a year or two down the line. There's the part of me that hopes, like, maybe if I wait another year, my skin might kind of bounce back a little bit more. It'll be less painful, less of it to remove. Who knows? But also, so I sent, they requested, basically, nude shots of your body, so the surgeon could kind of take a look and see, okay, based on what I'm seeing, these are what I would recommend. Now I'm not happy with how my stomach looks, but so it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me the way that my breasts do. And so, I don't know if I would get the abdominoplasty. Yeah, it would be great if I didn't have this like poochy belly thing happening, but I care about that less than I do about my boobs, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just a lower priority. And so, when the surgeon emailed me back and quoted me like the procedures that he would recommend, and one of them included, so like he recommended, based on how my skin and everything looks, a belt lipectomy. So that's the full 360, like pulling things up, pulling things down, making it all nice and tight. And, because they describe the procedure, and part of it includes back liposuction, which, like, it's weird to me because I'm like, I can, if I scratch my neck, I'm like, oh, I can feel my vertebrae. Because before, like, I had a nice fat pad there. If I do, like, reach down, I can feel my scapula. Like, I can tell that it kind of pokes out a little bit. And so I was really proud of my back, and I was like, oh, I don't look like I just have this like turtle shell hump of fat tissue covering my back anymore. And then, part of this plastic surgery procedure that I'm not even sure I'm ever gonna do includes back liposuction, and my jerk brain instantly goes, oh, your back looks terrible. They want to liposuction your back, which is obviously like, that's not true, but it's one of those things, like, it just, the chronic low self-esteem rears its ugly head and just ruins everything. So yeah, and I'll show you my stomach, hang on. So, like,
I mean, this is kind of, you know, what we're working with, like all this excess skin. And it's not, like, maybe if I angle the camera down, you can see it sort of, you know, it's not too bad. Well, when I do this, it looks awful. But how often do I just bend over people without a shirt on? So that'll be okay. And you can see, like, pull my pants back up. See, if I were in pants, it looks, you know, it's fine. So my surgery scars from the VSG, like, you can barely see this one. You got one right here, one here, one here, and then, oh, I'll have to crank this back up. The last one was up here, and you can't really even see it anymore. It's right there. This one's from the gallbladder, and so are these ones from that adventure. So, I mean, yeah, like, it's not... my sister and a couple of my friends who've had children mentioned that, like, basically, I just have the stomach of somebody who's had a couple kids. And, you know, I don't have kids. I don't plan on having children. So there's a part of me that's bummed out that it looked... I'm like, ugh, I don't want to look like I had kids. I don't have kids. But I also think that I might be too lazy and too cheap to ever deal with it. You know, plus, it looks fine when I'm wearing clothes. You know, we'll see. Definitely, if I had the money, I would totally do it. Like, why lie? But for me, my breasts are a priority, because even when I was, you know, 300 pounds, my favorite, if you asked me what my favorite facial features or my favorite parts of my body were, I would tell you without a doubt my boobs and my eyes. And so for me, like, I definitely want something to be done about the tragedy that is my chest now. But yeah, it's probably going to be at least another year. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. All right, so the last thing, oh my God, this video is going to be so long. I apologize. So the very last thing, so to celebrate, yesterday was my 1-year surgiversary, and I had an appointment. I've been working on, I've always wanted a phoenix tattoo, and I just never got one, because at the back of my mind I was like, well, I'll get it once I've lost all this weight, because then it'll be, you know, like, because I love mythology, and it'll be like sort of the rebirth thing. And you know, I graduated with my RN in 2014, passed my NCLEX January of 2015, had weight loss surgery in April of 2015. And, you know, and I've lost 130 pounds. So, like, I became an RN and I lost all this weight, and I was like, this is the perfect time. Like, this is the time to get the Phoenix done. So we did the outline back in February. And then yesterday on my surgiversary, we started the process of coloring it. So it's not done. It'll probably be another 2 or 3 sessions, because I'm kind of a pain weenie and tattoos hurt. But I want to show you what I had done. So let's see. It's here on my left hip. I might have to actually stand on the couch. Hang on, I gotta move the camera back, because I don't want to stand on the couch. Okay. To pull the leggings down. So this, the sun is coming in and kind of making it. So as you can see, it's quite large, but I'm really happy with it. And I'm so excited about the colors. Like, she does such a good job with the colors. Oh yeah, you can see all that loose skin too, so whoop. But yeah, and then we've got some, I am of Scandinavian descent, so got some rose mauling action happening as kind of the background there. So it's, you know, it's fresh. I just had it done yesterday, so it's still really sore and kind of painful, but I'm really happy with it. I'm very excited. You know, I finally got my Phoenix tattoo, and yeah. So all in all, like, that's where I'm at 1 year post-op. Things are looking good. Still got a ways to go, so I'll still try to keep doing the update videos, which I apologize. I just realized right before I filmed this video that I never uploaded my weekly video from Monday. So we'll have 2 video uploads today, my weekly video and my 1 year. So, all right. Sorry this video was so long, you guys. I will try to get back to keeping it shorter. I'll see you Monday, and I hope everyone's doing well. Bye.